those of you who, wish to visit parents people who have kids, please don't even bother buying milk, eggs, and all these things. Don't bother. You just come with a diaper. That's enough. Just buy a diaper and a cotton wool.
Yeah.
So diaper and a cotton wool. Hi guys, my name is Eric.
My name is Grace.
And this is our Burn in the Oven stories.
Yes. Yeah, so that's now with our firstborn Zion, and I remember.
You want to go to the second one? But we're still on the first one.
Yeah, we're still on the first one. Yeah. And then and now with Zion now, at least you see, he came. It's his normal. Yeah, I give birth. It's normal delivery. But I remember after 5 days or 10 days?
After 5 days.
Yeah, our son Zion now developed a jaundice. So. Yes. Yeah, it was a severe jaundice. So, and I haven't gone for the surgery, so we have to go back. We went to Ruma, and then after 5 days again, we went back again to the hospital.
To the hospital, yeah. He had severe jaundice, and we went to Coptic, and they said it will cost you 15,000 a day to put the kid in the incubator. So,
and without us there,
and we didn't have any insurance, so
and we're not allowed to stay with the baby.
Yeah, we're not allowed to stay with the baby. Actually, I'm the one. You were allowed to stay, but me, I could not stay, so I had to find a place, either go back home and then come back the next morning. But they were to find you another place, because the nursery where they put the kids is not the same as where you would have slept, right? So, because you have to be there to breastfeed the baby. So, but anyway. So we called my friend and we asked him, hey bro, can you find us another hospital? So he calls me and says, yeah, I found a cheaper place where you can come and you will only pay 5K. Neema. I'm like, okay, so go idea Coptic. So he says, okay, let me call the lady and just confirm and just be sure. So he calls the lady and the lady is like, yes, you guys can come, right? So 5 minutes later, I receive a call because we had already started packing, almost calling, and once actually said he would come and pick us up. So our friend. So we are just waiting for him. Then we receive a call and the lady says, unfortunately, I found the doctor had already given away that incubator. And we are thinking, oh my goodness, God, we just prayed and said thank you for that incubator, but now it's gone. So then now my friend starts looking for other hospitals. So he went to St. Francis. That one I will name because they were amazing. So we went to St. Francis. It was a good hospital, very, very good hospital. They did amazing work for us. So we paid only, was it 5K for the day. And I remember we were put in this room where it was actually being built. It was not completed. So, and they gave us a bed, but the bed was, the bed was slanting like this, and it had a mosquito net, but the holes were as big as this fist. Yeah. And there were so many mosquitoes, I'm telling you.
Because now you're sharing with them.
Yeah, so you're and then in that room you have different beds and you have kids that are coughing. They are coughing, and Zion is here. He has no immune system. He's only 5 days old, and we are so afraid. And here is Grace on a wheelchair. I'm having to push her everywhere, help her, get to the bed, and then take Zion, cover his eyes. He's refusing, he's removing it. You put that thing on his eyes because you have to put him under the incubator, and there's that light. So he's crying, and then here is Grace saying, love, I need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the toilet.
The toilet is far.
The toilet is so far away. I have to push her across the hall, with the wheelchair, And you know, her bladder is loose. She just
Because I
gave.
just gave
She's
birth.
just peeing all the time.
And with a broken leg.
And with a
Boy.
broken leg, I have to, you know, help her, lift her up, help her get to the toilet. And Zion is on the other side. We can hear him screaming and crying. And the nurse, actually, I remember the nurse told us, you guys are the ones who are going to, you know, put that thing on the baby. She didn't do it for us. We did it for ourselves. So, and then we bring you back, you know. And I remember early in the morning, you were supposed to come and, you know, queue and get your porridge. And then you go back to the bed, to your room over there. So if you don't come, you don't eat. So if you don't come, you don't eat. Yeah. So we were. It was now the next day in the morning, and I remember the doctors came for their trip around and just checking on the patients, right? And that nurse came.
Yeah, and so there's this nurse now started telling Eric, sir, come, I wanted to show you something. So now Eric is wondering, no, where this lady is taking me. And so just to find out later on, Eric found out now when he's taking you guys were taking the elevator.
To lift up.
Lift up there, and the lady opened this room, and you know, Eric was like, oh, okay, they have a nice reception here, and you know, the rooms are very nice, VIP. Yeah. And so now later did we know God was already moving the heart of this nurse. So this nurse started telling Eric, we want to move you guys here, executive.
Executive suite.
Yeah, and now the lady the nurse is saying, the head nurse is saying, hey, I can see you guys you and your wife are struggling, and with her condition with her leg, and you have a small baby there, because now they can see Eric is pushing me with his wheelchair, and the toilet is very far. Zion is there, and so we were really struggling. And so now immediately now Eric went back and telling me, hey, by the way, love, come, I have a surprise for you. And then now we saw the place where now the toilet is near, and Zion there's an incubator for the baby there.
And those beds, you press the button, they go up. Zzz, zzz. Because the other one was not like that. The other one was just metal. It was just metal and an old mattress.
Yeah, at least now you have the net there that mosquito will not get
and there's a nice screen TV. There's a nice sofa on the side. And the toilet is just next to. She didn't even need my help to go to the toilet now. She could have just, used the crutch and just go to the toilet.
Yeah, and then you have a button there where you can click. The nurse will come immediately.
And the other place was like, they bring you porridge, it's only for you. Yeah. Right? They bring you food, it's only for you.
So this time they bring food for me. They bring
one thermos for her, one thermos for me. One plate for her, one plate for me.
Because now he cannot leave me there alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was amazing.
That was now with our journey with now Zion, with the firstborn.
We stayed there for a week.
Yes.
We didn't feel like going back home.
Yes.
Because of the VIP treatment that we had.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was God comforting our hearts. So it was by the way we cried and we felt God in that moment.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that I will never leave you nor forsake you. That moment was just overwhelming. I remember we cried and we felt the love of God. And that's actually one of the reasons why we called our daughter Agape Love, the unconditional love of God.
Yeah.
But the time came and we left the hospital and we went back home, and life continued,
Now with you see now with our now with Zion with the firstborn, for me it was very challenging for me because now I can't move. That time I haven't gone for the surgery, so I'm still using crutches. Now imagine now changing his diapers, getting water, going to the toilet. Yeah, it was crazy. You know, most of the time Eric needs to be next to me, and yet now we are thinking now how we're going to do this. Eric needs to start doing business. Yeah, and so now
because our funds are getting exhausted. So we are spending our funds. We are at my mom's place.
Yeah, so now with Zion, it was a bit tricky for me to be doing for him those things, changing his diaper. So the amazing thing is my husband has been very supportive. He's been there helping me, because now this pregnancy thing and giving birth, it's not one journey. It's not only mother's journey. So the amazing thing is now when your husband is there for you to support you, help you, at least change your baby's diaper, at least cuddle the baby when the baby cries. So I remember my husband doing all that because I can't carry Zion, take him to the sun. I can't carry him, cuddle him, standing up when he's crying. I can't change his diaper. So,
and you didn't even have milk.
Yeah, so now even that was now the very challenging part with the first baby now, because now actually it takes even now. There was a time when I was in the hospital and the baby keeps on crying. Now Zion keeps on crying. My milk haven't come for 2 days.
For 2 days, yeah.
I think the third day is the time now when the milk is coming out. And still, he's a boy, so he will breastfeed and he will still cry. My milk was not actually a lot.
So we had to buy a substitute with none, or supplement, let me say supplement, with none. And so he was taking none, and none was expensive. In a week, it's gone.
Yeah.
So we are exhausting our funds as all this is happening.
Yeah.
And our son was not sleeping. I don't know whether it's because he was hungry all the time, because he was not getting enough milk. And Grace was also under a lot of pressure because of the pain. So I'm sure when you have all that pressure, it's not easy for you to be able to stress. I heard stress reduces milk production and all that. So but what happens next is, I remember we exhausted all our funds, right? So but I remember now she had to go to surgery and we didn't have the money. So a friend of ours decided to bring friends together and raise some funds for my wife's surgery. Because what happened was, the doctor said now the amount was $360 initially for her to get the surgery done, but now the rate has gone down because the baby has come. Okay, I didn't understand that one, but it didn't make sense to me. Now the prices have gone down. I mean, the surgery has, the price has reduced because now she has given birth. So he said now it's going to be around 160. So he gave us the amount. It was 160. We have nothing. Okay, so my friend puts together a WhatsApp group, chats people, finds all my friends, and the church in Dubai, the church that we were serving, they hear about my wife. So they come together, they bring together this benevolent team, and they put together an amount. Actually, it was 80,000. Yeah. So they sent to us 80K, and then my friend, our friend, George Mwangi Digirigi, we love you. Thank you so much. We love you. So he puts together this amount, and with his, he finds our friends, everyone that contributed. Thank you so much. God bless you. Our sisters, my sisters, my brothers, my brother, my sisters, my aunts, everyone. Yes. They came together, they put an amount, they gathered an amount, and then, so the amount came to 80,000. So we had the exact amount, 160. So we scheduled the surgery. She went in, did the surgery, and then 3 months late, so we moved out of my mom's place. We went to live somewhere else because after 3 months now, Grace was already starting to step, right? So the baby was now also 3 months. So I remember
learning to walk
she's
again.
learning
like a
to
baby.
walk again. So I remember this day we go to the mall and she puts on shoes because she was now being able to walk. She puts on shoes, and then we go to the mall and come back home. And then the next day, she starts having pain on her legs, severe pain. And when we look, we see it has pus. Okay, it's already starting to develop pus, and we have a 3-month-old baby, and we don't have money to take her to the hospital
for checkup again.
For checkup, because it was 5K per visit. So I had to call a friend from Dubai and tell him, hey, bro, I need help. So my friend Daudi, thank you, God bless you. So he sent us 5,000. I took my wife, rushed her to the hospital. And I remember, this is what I remember. I remember after the surgery, we asked the doctor, right? Because they put a plate on this side and they put another plate on this side. And then they put a screw across to hold the plates together. So what happened is, it's the ankle, right? So this side and this side. So they put a plate across. So the leg has to be exercised. So the more she exercises the leg, the more it applies pressure on the screw. So the screw starts to bend. So, but she has to exercise the leg. So we went and asked the doctor, this thing is causing, it's bringing a lot of resistance. My wife can't really exercise the leg. So and I asked him, is it going to snap? He said, no, it won't snap. It's debatable. It can stay there. You don't need to remove it. Just leave it. 3 months later, 2 months later actually, so it snaps. And that was now what was causing the pus to come out of the sides, right? So we go to the hospital, they do an x-ray, they find that the thing has snapped. So they say, okay, so now we need to schedule, another surgery. We just came from having a surgery 3 months ago. We don't have any money. Now he's saying we need to do another surgery. And we are thinking, okay. So and then I remember the housemaid left. I had opened a salon, a car wash business. So I stopped going early in the morning because I had to stay and take care of you, right? And then go to work at 3, right? So these guys in the car wash, they are stealing from me. Okay, so I go, I'm told tumetengeneza 200 peke yake, and it's usually a busy place. So the business that I had started, I was expecting to start paying my rent, right? Now we are already in the next month, and here comes the caretaker. We've surpassed the deadline. It's 18th, so the caretaker comes, says, the owner of the house actually came. And they said, you guys, you paid. In fact, I remember we even had to sell our ring. We sold our ring.
Some of the rings.
Not the wedding rings, but we had some gold rings that we had received as a gift. Because now, what are we going to do? In fact, I remember taking my guitar to those guys who you give the guitar and then they give you some money. I don't know what they are called. And then once you pay up, you come and take your stuff. So I went to that guy, told the guy, this guitar is worth 20,000. I need at least 10, so I can just put together with the other amount. The guy said, we can only give you 3,000. It's like 3,000. I took my guitar, went home. So, and then my wife said, hey, love, we have some rings. So I remember a guest when I was in Dubai gave me 2 rings, gold rings. So my wife had become big, so they couldn't fit her anymore. Because of the pregnancy. So we are like, let me go sell these rings. So I go all the way I go to town. I walk into the shops. The guy says, easy, but you 12 to tan. Thinking, bro, you need gold, 5,000. So I leave, and then I go to another shop. The guy says, I will give you 10. I am like, 10 seem buyer, because it will cover all my needs. The rent, actually, I'm thinking, hey. And then an idea comes to my mind. I remember I used to sell silver before I went to Dubai, and I used to buy them in Garissa, and they also sell gold. Maybe they will buy these rings. So I ran to Garissa. I sold both rings for 20,000. So came back, and I remember there was something that I had not paid for. And it was very, very important. Actually, I remember that's the amount now I paid. I had not paid the rent, by the way. I I had not paid the rent. So I took that from that 20,000. The house was 16. So I paid like 10 first, right? And then I paid other debts that I owed people. So I was like, I'm sure I'm going to get some money in the week because I have a car wash business. And then now this guy, the maid decided to leave and these guys are stealing from me. So we couldn't get the money. So on the 18th, the landlord came, knocked, and he was like, what's going on? And we were like, my wife fell sick. I had to take her to the hospital. So he said, you have to give me the money before the 23rd. I said, before 23rd, you get your money.
Or else you guys will go.
Or else we will throw you out. The 23rd was on Monday. And so Monday kafika. At night, we started packing everything. We were thrown out. And it was raining. Remember, it was drizzling, and we went back to my mom's place.
Yeah, well,
we stayed there for. It was crazy. We stayed there for a while.
Yeah.
With Agape, with Zion, and we were staying in a small room.
Where now we used to be when I had that accident and when I'm pregnant.
My mom had given us a one bedroom there inside, so we were staying in that room. We had big, traveling bags. So I remember we broke so many cups because every time we would place a cup, the space was too small. So you're passing unagonga inaanguka.
In the small bed.
Yeah, sugar in a mwagika. Then we have a baby cot. You can't, when you open the door, you have to walk in, on the side, right? You can't just go in like this. So it was a small room. And so we went back there. And so we continued to pray. So it's until the thought came to my mind, because I remember going to work, coming back home, and my wife is crying, constantly crying. And I'm asking her, what's going on? She's saying, you don't know what I'm going through. I'm getting a lot of frustration. I put the baby to sleep. Then the kids downstairs, they start making noise. It was frustrating for her. And
because I was not yet walking well.
You're not walking well. So, we are at my mom's place. We have to wait for them to use the gas so that we can also use the gas. There's only one gas. Okay.
Preparing food
so we are having to do all this. And, we've exhausted our funds. We can't buy our own gas. So, in fact, it's our mom who gave us a bed, right? When we moved to the other house that we were chased out of. So, I remember it's until we had a conversation and you started crying and told me, I don't know you don't know what I'm going through. And I realized I had a plot of land that I had bought. So I started looking for someone to buy it, because now I asked myself, I'm suffering, my wife is suffering, our baby is suffering, and we as a couple, we've never lived together. We don't have an identity as a couple. When we were in Dubai, we lived in the accommodation. She lived in the men's, I was in the men's side, she was in the ladies' side. So we never really had an identity as a couple. So what happened is I realized my wife is getting into a depression. So what I did is I went out and started looking for someone to buy to sell my land to. So it took how many months? Like 2-3 months before I got someone to buy the land. So the person bought the land and I took that money. The first thing I did, I went, took my wife. Sure. We moved into the house that we moved into this house, and then we stayed there for a whole year. But I thank God, those funds sustained us for some time, and we were just thinking of what business to do. We didn't know, and I was applying for jobs everywhere. I go for jobs, and I do the interview. The guy says, "Umepata."
Yeah, and I think that journey for us of trying out everything, and now we are building a family. We have a small baby, and things are not working out for us. And I think that what I would want them to know is that later on we realize, and we've learned from that is that, you know, things were not working out for us is because God has called us into ministry. Yeah, and so after all those challenges that we'd been through, even for the second time that I had to go and undergo surgery, is, you know, later on, you know, we still see in all that trials that we've been through, even with our pregnancy journey, we have seen the hand of God, you know, in everything that we've been through, all trials back and forth. Life trials, pregnancy trials, and our marriage trials, we have seen the hand of God and provision of God, the mercy of God. You have seen how God provides miraculously for the pregnancy, even the things for the baby's need, and so just like what my husband said, that's why we named our second baby Agape Love. So so that was with our first journey now, with the first pregnancy. Now. So now for the second pregnancy, it's the same thing. We were still not planning to get another baby because now Zain was still small. Zain was like 2 years, and Zain was still breastfeeding, and he was already 2 years old. And so now we're thinking, okay, let's wait until Zain turned maybe 3 years or 4 years, we get another baby. Now when Zion is like 2 years and a half, it's even like 2 years and 2 months. I started now having the symptoms again of pregnancy. So for me, I was
didn't
like,
even know.
And this time now, you know, I'm breastfeeding. I was like, wow, it's even the Lord. Immediately after we stopped Zayn from breastfeeding, now we found out, wow, I'm pregnant. Yeah, so now for the second one, it was more challenging because now I realized after most of
challenging in terms of
food. Like now, like almost of the first to second trimester, almost going to 7 months. To actually, it's only 8 months now when things change. But before I get there, so most of those months, I can't eat food with kitungu, even garlic, nyanya. So it was very challenging because with
you used to eat mashakura.
Yeah, with the first pregnancy, I can eat everything. This time now, I'm eating dry or boiled. So I'm eating. I make the rice. I fry it. Just put soy sauce on it. Or now the other ones, I have to just fry the meat without putting kitungu, no garlic, no onion. It doesn't taste anything. I have to boil. So I've been even loving Mrenda. I'm just eating Mrenda. I don't want the other greens.
Slimy, you know.
Because it's slimy.
And she loved it a lot.
So now most of them, even these ladies who are selling greens, they're just laughing at me because I'm just buying Mrenda. I told them I don't want the other greens. I'm not going to eat it. These ones will slide. I can be able to swallow. So now my baby is not wanting those. So I was telling Eric why it is stressful. So I felt like now I'm missing my food in my country. You know, Filipino food and Kenyan food is very different. So now I don't have those ingredients. How can I even get those things? So I think it's just interesting that we have friends in Dubai, and you know you can access Filipino goods there. So I have some friends who started sending me some food items, which now I can start being creative, even start using those seasonings. Even though I don't use kitungu, I can do something.
And so, I remember you when I would cook, you would have to go.
Oh, that one now it's very difficult.
She would have to go she would have to leave the house.
I don't want Eric cooking
she would smell kitungu. She was like
so angry,
so far away. She's not even in the apartment, but she can smell people are cooking, and she gets to the house like frustrated.
I'm telling you, open all the
windows, and she finds me cooking, and I've opened all the windows, and she goes to the balcony on the other end of the apartment and just stays there, and it's late at night, around 9, 8:30. You got 2 up on the car.
And you know the place where we used to stay. I don't now. Whenever we're sleeping, I don't want to sleep on the bed. I'm feeling so much of back pain with my second pregnancy. So now I'm sleeping on the sofa. Now the living room, it's near to the kitchen. So every time Eric will cook kitungu, I'm so frustrated because even though we had opened the window, everything, I'm still smelling the kitungu and I'm sleeping.
She was cutting nyanya with a spoon.
With a spoon.
Because the knife smells like kitungu.
Ooh, even actually the spoon. Wow. the spoon, the knife, I have to wash it. I don't even want to smell it. I was telling Eric, you wash these dishes. I'm not going to wash this because of the smell of the kitchen. So for me, I told Eric, this is the most stressful pregnancy I've ever had. So I've never understand this one. But I think the way God works is just amazing, because now Zion was at least 2.8. Now when Agape came,
and that's when she had Zion, she was big.
I was big.
She was eating a lot.
And now with the second one, I was
2.8.
The only thing that is growing is my belly.
Yeah,
I'm not even growing.
Everywhere else is skinny.
I think now the 8 months or the 9 months, now the last month, now at least now the normal sense of smell and taste, now it's coming back. So I started eating well now again, omena, all this food. Now again I'm eating, but I remember many times I can't cook. So Eric, I'm telling him, you have to cook. He's the one cooking, he's the one washing the dishes, he's doing everything. I can't do anything with this kitchen. I was even thinking, wow, now I had forgotten to cook. Now I don't even know now after I give that. Now what will happen to me? I'll just be boiling Mrenda. Now, after that, I give bath. Agape is bigger than Zion, 3.20. I was not eating well, so it was funny for me.
Yeah, it was
so now
funny.
It was funny. So I was telling Eric, so it was God's. There's still God has a reason why. Yeah. Because now if I'm eating very well, this baby could become very big. Yeah. Maybe I could have had cesarean.
How many kgs were you and your mom when your mom gave birth to you?
This now the funny thing. So now I was telling my mom, my mom is telling me, hey, you be careful, you don't become so big with your pregnancy. And you give birth cesarean, because my mom is the one advising me so much.
No, the one who was telling you, not your mom.
Yeah,
not to eat a lot.
But my mom was also now reminding me, you make sure you'll be walking the last trimester, and then don't eat much, because or else I'll have cesarean. So now, because now of course it's my mom, you know, mothers knows best. So she keeps advising me about pregnancy. So I remember she started telling me, do you guys know how many kgs is your baby now? I said, yeah. Now I think she's now 2 point something. That time she was not yet 3 kgs Agape. So my mom was telling me, that baby is small. And so I was like, she's small. How come? She's telling me, when I was pregnant to you guys, do you know how many kgs you are? I said, no. So she told me when she gave birth, I was 8 kgs.
8.
So I was telling
and she
my
gave
mom,
birth in the house.
I was telling my mom, no, you're
in the house.
In the house. So now, I was telling my mom, no, you're just kidding me. I'm not 8 kgs. How come now? And you give birth normal delivery. So my mom gave birth. I was 8 kg. So at first I was like, no, you're forgetting something. I'm not 8 kg. Now my mom started explaining to me, okay, look at this. I gave birth to you, you're 8 kgs, you're the firstborn. The second-born was 7 kgs. I was like 7 kgs, and it's a normal delivery. The third one, my third sister, now Badet, was now, that was 6 kgs. The last born is 5 kgs, and she gave birth normal delivery. And I was
and
like,
here we are worried about, 3.2.
The 3.2. So my mom is telling me, you have to make sure you'll give birth normal delivery, because all of you guys, most of us, actually the 3 of us, now my 3 sisters, all of us, my mom gave birth normal delivery. So the second one, we give birth also normal delivery. We give glory to God, and I think that's what we've been pleading to God, normal deliveries now for all our children. And so the second one was not been easy. It's not been easy, but I just give thanks to God for the grace. It takes the grace of God even for the firstborn. So I think now the difference now with Zion and Agape love is, now Eric was telling me, now the second one, now I can take her to the sun, carry her.
Yeah,
now I'm the one changing her diaper.
She could not carry Zion, our firstborn, until after 1 year, standing up. But now with the second baby, Agape, she can carry the baby, take her out to the sun. We actually enjoy having this baby. Our first son, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
because we felt things like when he came, everything.
We were.
It was so hard. It was so hard. Yeah, we were just so many things were happening, but then with time you get, of course, to to accept the situation and you love your kid, and
Yeah.
you know, that's what we realize that the enemy does. You know, sometimes he wants you to feel that this is not a blessing from God. What you should be enjoying, you're actually not enjoying it. And you know, because it brings fear. What will happen next? What, you know, how are you going to feed your family? So we didn't really get to enjoy that moment, you know. So but with Agape, we are enjoying every moment, and you know, it's just been amazing. It's been amazing for us with the second baby, and we thank God for that. But that's just about it. That's our story.
Amen.
Yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, so most of the people is wondering why did we name Zion Jerusalem. So we have named our firstborn Zion Jerusalem because God took us to our Jerusalem now, which is Kenya, which is now our ministry, you know, our first ministry. So we named him Zion Jerusalem, Maina, and then now the second one, Agape Love. It's because Agape means the unconditional love of God. So we have experienced so much of the unconditional love of God. We can't even explain a lot of miraculous things that has happened from the time I'm pregnant, how God is providing from the time I gave birth, for the surgery, how God has been providing for us, moving people's heart, you know, because we have learned to continue trusting God in prayer and in fasting. Many times, you know, especially those process now when now our family is growing, realize, you know,
we went through a lot There's a time we had to, you know, wash the diaper again. You know, you reuse it again. It has poop. So
with Zion now.
With Zion, because we don't have money to buy a new diaper. You know, we wash it again. We dry it with a blow dry. We put it on him again. You know. So there are so many stories too, because I believe that's all part of the journey. You know? Raising a child is not a joke. Yeah. It's not a joke, but we thank God that He provided for every step of the way.
Yeah, for kids diapers.
Yeah, especially diapers. Advice for those of you who, you know, wish to visit parents people who have kids. Please don't even bother buying milk, eggs, and all these things. Don't bother. You just come with a diaper. That's enough. Just buy a diaper and a cotton wool.
Yeah.
So diaper and a cotton wool.
I think also you need to advise those people who are visiting, especially what you call this one, couples now with a baby. It's very, very important to, you know, to call them and find out, hey, by the way, the baby is how many weeks now? Because now maybe the baby is already 8 months and you're bringing a newborn diaper. No one will use it. So now to see that, so now
it's good, but they ask what type of diaper they use, because we found out that, you know, like with our son, he was using, I don't want to call the name of that that brand,
but
I don't
it's
think
working
it's
well.
Good, so it's fair. But we used that one, and then with him he had no problems. But now with our daughter, we use the same one, and I remember we were told, you guys just use Pampers or Huggies. Okay, don't use this brand for now until the baby is around 6 months. We didn't listen. We put that
So now our you know, the firstborn is a boy, the second born is a girl. So now we should develop a very bad allergy on her private parts. So now we are wondering, what's happening.
Always ask, what diaper does your child use?
Yeah.
What's the size?
How
Don't
many
assume.
months?
Don't assume. don't assume. Make sure you ask, because we've gotten so many diapers that we've had to give away, and we are left with now no diaper. You bring us diaper and we are left with no diapers.
There's a time even we were joking around and we were saying, I don't even know if we should share.
Actually, some of the diapers are so big that it's my son who's using them now, not even the small baby.
There's even a time I was telling Eric, someone is going to call you and tell you, hey, we're going to see you guys, we want to see Agape. So I told Eric also, okay, so this is how you make conversation. Yeah, Agape is good. Hey, Karibu, you guys can come. Hey, by the way, now Agape is already, how many months now? 4 months. Oh my goodness, she even developed an allergy, so she can use this diaper. I was telling Eric, by the way, make a TikTok video, because you don't know how to explain people. You don't know if they will bring you diapers. Just tell them a story, just in case they understand you. It was funny. No, I was telling Eric, no, my goodness, no, your people will come. They didn't ask you what's the size. Agape is having allergy. Now what will happen? You tell them, hey, just return it to the shop and just bring us another diaper. It was
so please, just even in a baby shower, please go for the expensive diapers.
For now,
just go for the expensive diapers. Even if you have to buy the small Huggies, the small one, it's worth it, because when you buy the big one and the baby starts using it as a chomeka, it's a waste of money. So when you visit a family that has a baby, just buy them diapers.
Yeah, especially for
forget
girls.
The cakes, forget the bread and the milk. And buy a lot of the ugali and sugar. You just buy diapers. That's what we need. Okay, so that is very important. I think that's our story. That's our bun in the oven story.
That's our bun in the oven.
So I hope we did. I'm sure we left a lot out, but. That's it. That's us.
Especially for our journey of pregnancy. Yes. Yeah, those ones. But we give glory to God in everything. In everything we give glory to God.
So God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Thank
you guys.
Bye guys. Take care and God bless you.